You meant to press the live and then the countdown, your cookie.
Oh, you hit the
What you
live
do
and
is you
then the
go live
countdown?
and then you hit the countdown and it gives us like 30 seconds to get ourselves together. Like, I was like, okay, we're not
Oh,
live.
so I did it the opposite way?
Yeah, you done it before we
Yeah.
went live. So no, didn't.
That's okay. Don't worry about it.
Everybody does it. We've all done it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Well, I won't say I did it because I was told to do it that way. Drew.
Read it again. Read it again. Oh, I'll see.
We did do a countdown, guys, but Sister Misty done it before the show. Okay, so you had your 30 seconds.
Just
Yeah.
wasn't live.
We're
Well,
live.
Dobby Socks is in, so she says, "Hi, watching this on laptop, finishing my cryptid live on TV screen." LOL.
Ooh, welcome, welcome. Well, we're just going to chit chat. I've actually got Liam's tablet. Remember last week I couldn't get it to work, so I've been going through it trying to get it to clock on. I'll use it for comments though. Let me find you.
I'm going to actually go over to the YouTube as well. I'm going to mute him in it.
Do you know that my dear won't let me comment?
Probably not.
So I'll say hello to everybody. Hello, Dobby Socks, Iron Fire Horse, and Suze. But yeah, it won't let me comment. If I click on it, it'll blink to put the comment, but it won't actually let me comment.
Right, I don't know. Welcome everybody. Sorry for the state of me. I was going when Sister asked me if I wanted to go live. I was saying, well, I know, because I've had a sore head the full week and I've not been sleeping good. And I thought, well, the thing is I've got to see us in the raw form as well when we aren't feeling as hot. You know, it's life. So I thought, well, you might as well see me when I'm not well as when I'm good. So you have got me in the raw form this week, guys. I'm not feeling 100%, but I'm here.
That's
Yeah.
great. That's great.
Welcome,
And
Sharon.
yeah, I was actually outside, and with my phone right now, I'm uploading. I mean, matter of fact, I take it off here. It was on your message, Drew.
Right.
So I was outside doing a video because I made, for the first time, I made a hummingbird fountain. And so I did a video and it's uploading now. So actually, my phone was going dead as I was doing it. Hey, hanging with Mr. J.
Hello, darling.
So I had to run in here, plug the phone in, so it's plugged in on the computer right now, so it can be charging and while it's uploading. So all I had time to do is run to the bathroom and brush my hair and run over here and click on it. So I ain't even taking a shower. I'm all sweaty. So I am me, and you'll see me in the same clothes as I was outside 10 minutes ago doing that video.
Oh well, who cares? It is what it is, guys.
I've had dreams where I haven't put my makeup on. I feel crappy today as well, but I put this on because I look like a ghost. I look even more like a vampire now. But there you go. With the blood
I was saying to Sherry earlier, I think it's because the sun's not really out. I mean, up here in Scotland, it seems to be dull all the time.
I think it's a mixture of things. I think it's the fact that we don't have nice weather. I think that there's just a lot going on with the atmosphere as well. I just think that people that are spiritually connected are being affected in big ways.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's as if the motivations went out of life a little bit. I think for the lockdown.
How our planet is suffering at the minute, and all the stuff our planet's gone through and stuff like that, and it's rebuilding, it's cooperating, isn't it, to try and come back. So anyone that's connected to that's going to be feeling that. So we're going to be feeling crappy at the minute because our planet feels crap.
I actually thought the full moon the other night. I thought, well, there's a full moon in a couple. This was about Thursday last week. I thought there's a full moon at the weekend. Maybe it'll rejuvenate me. And I did feel a little bit better, but it didn't rejuvenate me like it usually does. Do you know what I mean? I think it really is because it's too cold to go out, even when the sun's there. I think that's what it is. It's just not good enough yet to go out walks and things.
The last 3 days, our temperatures have been not, y'all are probably Celsius. We're Fahrenheit here. So at 32 Fahrenheit, that's freezing temperatures. So
Right.
the last 3 days, well, it's been cold, freezing, but the last 3 days where it's freezing overnight, and then by 12 o'clock the temperatures are in the 60s. Huge,
Right.
huge difference.
Mhm.
So I was like, so tomorrow, let's see, we have plans to go fishing because I told Lee I need to make some fish fertilizer, and
Right.
obviously I need fish, and so we are going to go fishing because we both already have our licenses, so we can dig our own worms out here, so it's not going to cost us anything other than the gas to go down to the to the
Then your stray cats will really love you.
yeah. So we're going to do that tomorrow, because then Thursday I've got to make the bottle deals that I was telling you about. I got to do
Right.
that, and then because Friday it's supposed to start raining again, so I'm trying to get as much stuff kind of fit in where I'm trying to videotape everything, even though my channel is more magical and more paranormal kind of thing. I also want to show the stuff that I'm doing for that garden, so I'm trying to do the videos. So since I'm learning, maybe somebody wants to learn with me, and then they can
It's
see how to.
definitely good. I've not watched the ones that you've posted. I think it was this morning I woke up to one. I've just been busy all day running around. But I'll definitely watch it when I settle down tonight, and I'll share it out as well. So remember to take a look, guys.
Yeah, and so I got the fountain done today, and we had Lee put up my hummingbird deals the other day, and I did the fountain today, and then I seen a hummingbird out there today, so I was like, yes!
Brilliant.
So like,
There you go. Well done, well done.
yeah, so because see, I used to put the hummingbird feeders out all the time, and we had a whole bunch of them, but I stopped putting them out because since the neighbors' cats kept getting run over here, I was afraid that they would, get a hold of the hummingbirds, so I'd stop feeding them so they could go get flowers and go to other places, because I just kind of felt like I didn't want to risk them getting a hold of the hummingbirds. But where I put them back here in the back where the garden is, it's all in a 10-foot fence.
Right.
So the cats can jump over that fence, but at least when they hit the fence, to jump over, it will alert the, birds, and they can fly.
Yeah, they'll fly away.
Yeah, so they have a chance. Out front, they were just hanging there, and the cats would have just jumped and got them, so I didn't end up doing that. So
Sounds good, Dobby. Sounds good. At least he's in the sun. Where's our sun? Our sun is out. That's the thing. The sun's out during the day. It's just not good enough the weather to enjoy the sun.
Yeah,
the sun's there, but it's just really cold.
Liam the other day was shorts and he looked out the window and it was a nice spring morning looking, and I'm like, Liam, it's still too cold for shorts and t-shirt, but he had to go test it.
Well, if I wore shorts right now outside doing what I'm doing, I mean, even though I have a little bit of color here, my legs are so white, people would think it was a paranormal video and there was a ghost out there. They'd be like, wow, white. So yeah,
I don't bother. If it gets too hot, my shorts go on. Good or bad.
I'm sure people have seen very white skin before, so
that's a good way to look at it. But one time I had on shorts and somebody thought that I had on white stockings, and I was like, that's my legs.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, but I don't care. But I have to be careful because I get sunburned and I get red like a lobster. Yesterday, when I was doing the video I downloaded yesterday, Lee said he went out there and he was like, you're getting red, talking about my face. I said, yeah, no, I need to get out of the sun for a while. But
I don't think ours is strong enough for that just
no,
yet.
It's not.
Yeah, usually about May, but then May. But another 4 weeks, I would say.
I'm excited, and I put a nice little dress thing on, and I decided to go and throw my rubbish out and stood out. I was like, oh my God, it's so deceiving. It looks so nice, but then when you get out there, it's freezing cuts like that.
Yeah, as it's very cold still.
Straight back in,
There's
trousers on,
definitely
t-shirt.
there's definitely things to do in the house anyway.
Oh yeah.
Just not
Okay,
where
I
it's at.
I have to put us up there so that when this live goes off, everybody can still read that she wears men's boxers around the house, but never shorts. But you know, men's boxers are comfortable.
They
Yeah,
are. They're nice.
yeah. They're
like
non-binding. They don't get. I don't. What's the word in English? I don't know. The word in Spanish is pope. When you like have your panties up your butt.
Right.
Boxers, you don't have to worry about that because they're just, so dang comfortable.
Yeah.
I've worn men's boxer shorts.
Yeah. Well, one day
I think they look pretty good on a woman, to be honest.
Yeah, they're comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are very, very, very comfortable.
That's true, and all men's are comfortable, isn't they, on women usually? They're cheaper.
But they have to be, don't they? Because if you
Yeah.
think they're man tackle bits and stuff like that getting all cut up and whatever,
Well,
it's not like us, is it? So they are do so.
That's weird because Liam likes boxer shorts, but Weezak likes the briefs. So the two of them are completely different.
Yeah. When he gets older, he'll like the boxer shorts.
Probably. He's in Blackpool just now with his mum. They come back on Thursday, so they do. So my dad and that do tidying up and doing washings and getting the place all nice for her getting back. Just to give her a bit of a break. She's got a sore hand, you see, so she doesn't do a lot of things. She can't work with a lot of chemicals because of her scars. I don't know if I ever told you the story about she was to go in for a kidney operation. It was to open up one of her valves in her kidney a little bit more. And the anaesthetic guy had put the anaesthetic in her main artery instead of her vein, and it had blew off the top of her finger. And the man, all through there, right down, was all blew out, right away down there on the finger, all blew out. And they didn't even tell us about it. It was a simple operation. It was meant to last 3 hours, and still by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we were like, "Where is she? What's going on?" But they still put her through the kidney operation as well. So she went through a hell of a time. Her arm was lying open for 3 months on a bed, just all open.
Who is this?
Horrible. My daughter, Kara.
Oh, dang.
There's a lot of skin grafts and things, so she can't use bleach and different other things she can't use. So usually one of us will just go down and do it for her. It's quick enough,
Wow. So did she ever recover? I mean, what happened after everything?
Well, she sued the hospital and things like that. She did sue them and get money off them for it. But her arm and things is just not the same. She's got that finger there's only half. That finger's only, I've got a marker pen on my fingers, but that finger there's all completely off. For there up. She's no tip. And this one here, I do believe's got a wee bit off the top of it as well. It was they two that blew out, and then all this down her arm was lying all open for about 3 months. It was horrible.
Wow.
Yeah, and they told us that the doctor actually told us that it's a good job that your blood travels down the way, because if your blood travelled up the way, it would have been her heart that would have blew out. So it's a good job that your blood travels down your arm and comes back up.
Oh my God, that would be so freaking scary.
Yeah.
Sherry, if that's your food, you can eat while you're on. I don't care.
Yeah, go enjoy your food.
Yeah, but you're going to have all of the paper rustling and that.
Oh, stick yourself on mute for
Who
a couple
cares?
of minutes.
We're not even worried about it. We're all sweaty and everything. We're not going to care
Don't
if
you
you
worry,
eat rattle food.
I've not even got a bit of makeup. I've not actually had any makeup on all weekend or anything, so I was going to make the effort, but I had to run down and get a pizza for Liam, and then when I came back in, I was soaking, so I thought, right, I'll run out to Nellie's, and then I come back round here, so who cares?
Yeah.
Who really cares, guys, eh?
Lee can't eat pizza no more.
All right.
So yeah, Lee had been breaking out and stuff, and we had been like trying to find out what it is, because you know me, I don't like go to a doctor or anything, so Lee don't go to a doctor. So we had been cutting certain foods out and having him eat certain foods on purpose to see if it would cause the more itching or less itching, or if the rash would go away. So we had been doing that for about a month, and come to find out, he's got to eat like gluten-free stuff.
Right.
So like the pizzas that I have in the freezer, I'll have to eat those. But now when we go shopping, everything that we buy, we have to look to see if it's gluten-free. So what I did is, all the food we had in the house, I went through every single thing and I separated everything onto one side, and I left the stuff that he cannot have in the cupboard.
Right.
So I told him, anything that's out of the cupboard, on the shelves, any of that you can eat, like all the vegetables, stuff like that, that's gluten free, all of that. And so that when Lee's like, I'm hungry, I'm like, well, go pick what you want, and I'll stick it in the microwave since I don't really cook. But like breads, he's used to having bread with everything he eats. Well, we've learned that certain stores have gluten-free bread in their freezer section. So we have to look into that, to see.
I have noticed in the supermarkets there is the choice now with a lot of stuff with the gluten-free and then the normal stuff. I have noticed that. So there must be a lot of people get the gluten thing wrong with them in their diet. It's more common. Our chip shop up here, which is the fish and chip shop, they do a gluten-free night. I think it's once a month on a Wednesday, where all their chips, all their fish and different things is all cooked with the gluten-free. They do it one night a month. So they do.
But and like the chips, we're used to just getting like the regular Lay's regular chips and then the wavy chips. So now next time we go, I'm looking over at Sherry. So we're gonna have to look into all of that, and just everything we need to purchase, we're just gonna have to find something that's says gluten-free.
That's what it is, though, but it's lactose. It's once a month they have the lactose diet. That's what it is. It's not the gluten, it's the lactose.
Yeah.
For all the people that's allergic to it.
Yeah, well, see, Lee there for a while could only drink lactose milk because he was lactose intolerant. And then we come to find out he went through a phase, and then he got out of it, and now he can drink whole milk. And now it's the whole gluten thing.
Hey, Panka.
Hey, Panka. So he's having to, I think Dobie Socks meant grape oil instead of rape oil. Yeah, rape oil is bad for us females.
It's a good job you're not monetized.
Yeah, great. I know it. So it's going to be great. I just need to get that off of there before they like.
I've heard a lot of people talk about almonds milk is good. A lot of people up here drink almonds milk. I've noticed it in the shops. And it usually has only a couple of barrels out left, so people up here must try it. I've never tasted it. I'd like to taste some of the other stuff. I usually just have normal milk in my tea, but
I've tried an almond milk. It's actually really nice. It's a little bit sweeter.
Right.
But it's still really nice.
I like it. I know that when they were drinking when Jody was here, he's away home now, but when he was here, the first time he brought out his big, it's like the stuff that they use when they're working out. They put like a scoop of it in the milk, and it was almonds milk he was using for that.
Well, so there is actually an oil called grape oil then.
Right.
We had taken Lee off all oils altogether except for olive oil. Olive oil was the only one that I had left him on, because we were trying to figure out what was causing, because he would be okay. If he would eat something, if he eats a meal or whatever, then like in 10 minutes, he'd be like doing this.
Right.
and scratching, and so we were trying to figure out exactly what he ate, or if it was a combination of foods, or if
Yeah,
it
it's
was fried
expensive,
in
Harry.
something, yeah, or if it was a certain flour, if it was wheat or rice, or whatever. So it took about a month for us to try to figure out what it was. And then once we did this and started taking him off of the, like, just putting him up where it said gluten free, or no wheat and no soy, then he started to where he wasn't itching as much. His rash is starting to go away. He was always doing this because his head would
Right.
dry out. His skin, he would get like the red blotches and stuff. But now he's starting to heal up, and I think we finally figured out what it was. I
What it
told him,
was.
he said, I'm going to have to go to the doctor. And I said, everything I'm telling you to do, the doctor's going to tell you the same thing. They're going to
Listen,
have
they'll
you
say
take out a
what's the
diary.
diet.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they're going to have you take out a diary, write down what you're eating, all of that. He's going to tell you to look at the ingredients. So instead of going to the doctor and paying them thousands of dollars to tell you that, we need to try all of this first. Now, if it was something a life or death thing, then yeah, he
Yeah,
can
of
go to the
course.
doctor.
Yeah.
But the things we can figure out at home, I
Mhm.
told him, I said, that's what we need, to do. But, yeah, we figured it out. He can't have nothing that says wheat on it. If it says wheat in it, where the contents say wheat or soy, that's completely out of the question. That's the stuff that's staying in the cupboard that I can eat, that it doesn't affect me any, but
Mhm.
it affects, him.
No, I
So,
understand. I had a sore head for days and days, and I only finally gave in and took a cocodamol yes, just this morning. That
yeah.
was 3 days. My head was just bursting, bursting. I didn't have any paracetamol and no money to buy them, so I just
Hmm.
suffered it all weekend, and then I finally gave in and took a cocodamol this morning. But I wasn't going to, but I thought I better because during the week you need to function and do your daily duties.
Well, and you got to also remember, too, that if your season is even close to ours, I mean, you're still in the cold season, so are we,
Yeah.
but things are starting to bloom, so allergies will be acting
Yeah,
up,
that's that.
sinuses, the headache, so that could be, affected. That's the reason I said, if you have lavender essential oil, just every now and
Yeah,
then, just
smell
smell
it.
it, because that helps clear your head up a lot, to where it's a lot tolerated.
Yeah.
Because I don't take pills or anything either, so I try to rely
I
just
know it's
on.
the sun. I know it's the sun because I've seen me some days and my head is bursting and I'm really sitting like that. And then I'll say somebody will no go to the shop, say I'll need something at the shop and I'll go to the shop. By the time I walk to the shop and back over, the shop's just over there. Usually the time I walk over and back, especially if it's a sunny day, my head starts to dispel a little bit. So I know it's the sun. It's lucky vitamin B.
Yeah, and Dobby Sox just made a comment, and she's totally right on those also. Um,
Yeah, definitely Adobe.
yep.
Yep.
Um, she says
That's it.
I
I
love
mean, I
wearing a
don't
mask.
know. There's a lot of people that, like, for example, my dad has always worked all his days on in every weather. When my dad was on the building sites, it was a case of there wasn't as many rules as there is now. They worked hail or snow or rain. So he never used to have the cold or anything. But I've noticed that he's been retired that every year he gets the cold now, and he never ever used to get the cold or the flu or
Hmm.
anything. And he's been retired, what, 10 year maybe? And now, sure as on, he gets the cold and everything the same as everybody else. But he never ever used to.
Yeah, because your body changes, and with the with what's going on in the air.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of people. Okay, my belief is, like, when it gets cold and people get sick, I don't believe it's got nothing to do with the cold. What I believe it is when the cold comes in, it's not the cold, it's what it brings in with it.
Yeah,
Because
and
the
it's the going
winds
in
are
and out.
blowing and stirring and all of that, and it's bringing all this bunch of crap in with it
Well,
that we're
that's it,
breathing,
Jerem.
inhaling. That's what's making us sick. It's not the cold itself, it's what comes in with it.
Yeah.
I agree there.
And it's through getting in and out. I mean, I'll say to the boys all the time, like, take your jacket off when you're in the house, and then that way, when you go out, you'll get the benefit of the warmness.
Mm.
And then they'll come in, dump their jacket, and go away out without it or something. So it's the
Yeah.
getting in and out with the different layers of clothes on. That's what gives them the sniffle. Me, I'm bad for just jumping across to the shop like this and no grabbing my jacket, and then I end up with a sniffle for a week, you know.
Yeah. Well, if I want to step outside, I'm gonna be wrapped up like a cocoon.
You look out the window and you see the sun, and then you look across and you see the shop. So you think you can go from here to there without a jacket, and then you get to the park and you think, why did I go without a jacket?
Yeah, what was I thinking?
Yeah, the jackets are right there next to the door, so why did I not just grab one? It's crazy. The joys, guys, the joys. We
Yeah.
try and fool ourselves, that's what it is. We
Well-
want it to be good that much, we fool ourselves that it's here and it's not.
Well, I think what it is we're not as young as we used to be. That's what Lee tells me. Honey, you're old now. You're not young like you used to be. You're, and I'm like, wait a minute. I'm still young. It's you that's old.
Well, I was just saying that earlier. I can't remember what one of the two I was saying it to. But I was saying that earlier. I used to be I would get an idea in my head and I wouldn't even think about it. I would just get up and do it. But now I find myself making excuses like, oh, I can do it tomorrow or I'll do it later. And I never ever used to do that before, ever.
Yeah. I wrap up when I go out only because of my age, and I'm pretty sure this is with a lot of people. The older we get, our blood gets thinner, therefore we get cold easier. And when I get cold, I just feel like my bones just ache inside. Yeah. So I would rather take 5 minutes, wrapping up, go out, do what I need to do, and come back, and then be comfortable than to go out, freeze to death, come back, and then wish I had not done it.
Oh, you definitely feel the cold more. Definitely. Because I was like Liam when I was I would just go out if it was raining or not. Yep. Now I'm grabbing jackets and hats and it's a sunny day.
Did you read Iron Fire Horses?
I've always been like.
Wait, no, read it on the tablets. It's a bit small.
Do what you
I've always been something that's always really cold. Like, all my life I've always been very cold. Like even in the summer I used to sit out with my coat on and like that, feel the cold. And
see, I like sitting out in the sun.
Arthritis off my spine and my hips and stuff, so I feel the cold.
Yeah. Out the front's a good bit to sit because usually by the time the sun comes round, it's usually about the afternoon, so it's nice and warm out that front. It gets the full force of the sun.
Yeah. Does anybody in the chat have any questions or anything you were thinking about or just wanted to say? Maybe you've got something that you can teach us. Anybody got anything they can teach us? We're willing to learn anything. Well, within reason.
I'll be 51 in a couple of weeks. So I will. My dad will be 78. My dad will be come the 17th. So he's getting big old. Yep. 2 years and he'll be 80.
Wow. My dad, both my parents, they died at a very, very, very young age. I think they were both in their like 40s or something.
Wow.
They died. Well, my mom, I think, was older because my dad died, and then my mom, of course, she had remarried, and then she died at a young age, but, I mean, way younger than what I am now. Iron Fire, let me see.
My mom, she still works. She was born in 1950, and that'll be 50, 60, 70. 73 she is, and she still works. She'll be 73 this year, sorry. And she still works in a factory, standing for 10 hours, putting components on a cake. On a 10-hour shift. She's up at 4 o'clock in the morning to get a shower, to go for the 5:30 bus, because she's not got a car right now. And then she stands in the doing a 10-hour shift, and then she gets
Wow.
the bus back out, and she's in the house for about 8 o'clock at night at her age. That's why I don't ask my
Uh,
mum for money or anything when I need money, because I think she works too hard for it to keep giving it away.
Now, pretty
yeah.
cool as well, being 73 and still doing that. Like, that would be something that you'd normally expect, like,
Yeah.
anybody
Yeah.
like teen up to like 40
Same with
maybe.
my dad. My dad only gave up working, 10 years ago, and he's, nearly 80. And he only gave up. He was still doing homers and things, building things for people outside his work, and he gave that up as well only about 10 years ago. Yeah, the two
So
of them worked all their days.
so they're in Scotland. Do y'all have like Social Security there?
Yeah, they have a pension, like a state pension, that they get every month. And then because still, like my dad in the building sites and things, I think when they become retirement age, they get like a lump sum.
So on y'all's end, like okay, here, if you retire, when I say the word retire, it's like going on Social Security. So if you go on
Right.
Social Security before
I see.
before 66 and a half years old, you're only allowed to make so much money after you when you receive your checks. You can only make so much money after that, or they take away your Social
Yeah,
Security check. But
yeah, that's like up here as well.
if you're already 66 and a half years old on Social Security, then you can make however much money you want and they not deduct it from your Social Security. Do they do that
Right.
there?
Yeah, what they do is my mum and things, if you're on Social Security or you get a pension, um, like they
Hi,
can
Sweet
pay
Pea.
you pay your rent and different things, and you'll no need to pay like council taxes, which is like your rates in America. You don't need to pay any of that if you're on like the DHSS, which is your government funding
Any sort of
for
benefit,
benefits.
people,
Benefits.
anybody that's disabled, anything like that.
Yeah.
We all, like,
But
if you're on
because my
benefits, you
mum
don't pay your rent, you don't pay your
don't pay
taxes,
rent,
you
and
don't pay any of that.
the same with the old days pensioners. Once you turn retirement age, they get your rent and everything all paid. But because my mum's still working, she doesn't get any of that because she's still bringing an income in.
Yeah.
So basically, she just gets her pension and still has to pay her rent. I
So
think the thing,
they get their housing free after a certain age?
yeah, yeah, yep.
That here, you could be living in the street and they don't care.
That's
I know,
very
it's completely
different with you
different.
guys over there and us over here. Like, even though I moan about England, there are things that are more beneficial. Like, even when you reach a certain age, the government will pay old people a certain amount of money for their electric and stuff like that.
Yeah,
They'll give like £100 and something put on their electric and stuff like that as well. They do.
yeah, they're quite good to the older
Wow.
generation. Yeah. I mean, and the fact that we got all medical and things for nothing is a
We
great
don't
help,
pay for anything
especially when you
like
get
that.
older.
Hmm.
We don't pay for ambulances. We don't pay for being in hospital. Don't pay for any of that.
The
Here, you can
only
go
time
spend
they'll
the.
make you, the
You can
only
go.
time they'll make you pay for an ambulance is if you've done something wrong. I've seen people get
Yeah,
an ambulance bill, but that's it.
yeah.
Wow. Here, if you go to the hospital and spend one night, you're going to be charged $40,000.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yep.
How can you
Yeah,
survive on that?
it is
My.
high. It is
Yeah.
high because my fella says about it because his mum and dad and stuff as well. Like cause they would have they get certain helps and stuff like that, but it's so strict over there. And if there's certain things are not done, they take it away from you. You can't get it back.
The thing
And
is, you save up all your
Hi,
time
Suze.
working to maybe have a little bit of a nest egg once you reach a certain age. But in America, you reach that certain age, you maybe need medical help. So all your savings go to your medical help. It's
Hmm.
crazy.
Yeah, with my late husband, he was real sick for, I don't know, about 5 years or so before he passed away. When he passed away, his medical bill alone was over $300,000.
that's just crazy. Like
Wow.
I really don't believe in the system that you should have to pay for your medical and things like that
No,
because
no.
I know people in America that have had cancer and stuff, and they've been having to hold back on what they do and what they, and it's just, one of them that I knew actually died because they couldn't afford the, and I don't see that being right. I don't see how that they can sit there and watch people die
I
because they're not
know.
paying a bill. That's just that, you've got enough
Because
experience
Crazy.
with cancer and trying to get past that and trying to find money, let alone having to worry about 40, 50, 60,000 pound on top of your head after you're better. You know what I mean?
What do
because
you
they're
have to
greedy.
get diabetes or something and you need like injections once a month? Do you have to pay like $80 for one injection and things?
That's because they're greedy. That's all it
That's
is. It's a money
crazy.
racket, is
If
what
you
it
ain't got the
is.
money and that, they won't
Uh-huh.
see you. They
Mm-hmm.
won't see you if you ain't got the money.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what's wrong with you.
Yeah.
Well,
And
even
like,
if you get a job in America, I do believe you can get insurance, but does that mean that they pay all your medical bills if you have got insurance, or is it so
no,
much they pay?
no, like here, if you pay for insurance, it depends on how much insurance you are, you know, what you're getting. You're paying for only like a certain amount of deductible, you know, for a certain amount. And
Right.
so, like, I had insurance with where I was working at, and I had Lee on my insurance because he didn't have insurance driving the truck. So he had to go to he went to go do his physical or something, I can't remember. And the lady, the doctor told him that he needed to go to the doctor right away, that his blood pressure was sky high and he was going to die. So he called me and he said, I'm on the way to the hospital. The doctor said that my blood pressure is way up and I could die. And I said, stop right there. Stop. You
Making
are
him think
not
that.
go- I said, you are not going to die. Your blood pressure is not that high. And her telling you that is going to make it high. So by the time you get to the hospital, they're going to see that it's high and they're going to charge you out the rear end for it.
Yeah.
So he gets over there and they're like, do you have insurance? He's like, yes. They're like, you know, well, you have to pay your deductible, you know, in order for us to do it. The deductible was like $10,000 or something for them to do blood tests. He said no. No. So he comes after everything. He come back home because he refused, you know, whatever. He came back home. I checked his blood pressure and it was normal.
Yeah.
It was normal. And I was like, that's just crazy. Well, he had his physical today. Okay, because you know that he retired from work. You know,
Yeah.
he's not going to be driving no more. But like after June, he can bring in like a little bit more money on the side without them taking it out of his Social Security check. So he talked to his boss. His boss told him, if you want to drive for me, just like part time every now and then, or something like once a month or something to bring in a little
That'd be
extra
good.
money, he said you can do it. But because Lee's CDL license to drive a truck is still good for 2 years, but his physical
Right.
was going to be up this month on the 26th. So his boss paid for him to go get another physical, and his blood pressure was 120 over 80, I think, which is actually very good, you know. And
Yeah.
and the doctor was like, well, your blood pressure and everything's fine. Everything they did was just perfect. I said, that's the difference of you going to this doctor and the last one you went to that scared you half to death and said you were going to die. You
That's
know?
hoping that his blood pressure would go up, isn't it? And then he spends hundreds of dollars when he gets there.
Yeah,
But
and there
surely that's
was,
breaking the rules as well, like breaking the law, saying that to a patient. Obviously, like if you've got an illness and that you know you're not going to get better from, that's different. But when it's things like that, and especially if it's something to do with apparently high blood pressure, so the motivation, all that stuff, you wouldn't say that to a patient, would you? Knowing that they're going to
I
die
know it.
more. Like,
She's scared him to death.
and it's
Yeah, I bet she
like,
did. You know what she
like
was
I love
saying?
America. I love America, but I just don't understand some of the ways that they live, like the way
Yeah,
they're made to live. It's just not right.
crazy.
Yeah. I mean, that was just crazy. And for the physical was $70, but his boss paid for it. He sent me okay, get this. Now, Lee had sent me a message and said, oh, honey, I forgot to tell you, my boss, this was today, my boss paid for the physical. I messaged him back and said, yeah, I know your boss was going to pay for the physical because I did a prior. And I sent him a picture that I had wrote down, and what it said was March the 30th at, I think it was 8:33 or something like that, that your boss will pay for your physical because I did a prayer for it. I sent him that paper and showed him that I did a working. He goes, I didn't know. I said, I know, but I wanted to document this so that when you told me that, I was going to send it to you and you would see. And it was on a whole, scribbled on another deal that I was working on, and I did it real quick. So I sent him that paper. And he was like, what is the rest of that? And I told him, and I said, but I fitted that prayer in there. So I already knew, first of all, that you were going to pass your physical with no problems. Your blood pressure was going to be good, everything. I didn't worry about that, and your boss was going to pay for it. And that's exactly what happened.
I love it.
Yep. So he,
I
it
was
all.
in hospital and they made me take a sleeping tablet. I got up to go to the bathroom. As I came out the bathroom, a nurse was standing there and slapped the BP cuff on me right there and then. Wow. Crazy.
Dang.
Crazy.
Yeah, because that's when, when you're moving around and stuff like that and you're having to go to the bathroom or you're worried about stuff or whatever, yeah, your blood pressure's going to be,
Go up.
elevated.
I not go to the doctors, honestly. I just try my hardest not to go because I know they're going to either give you paracetamol or antibiotics. That is all they ever give you, antibiotics or paracetamol. So
They
there's no
don't give you
point.
much else.
No.
Like, even though we don't have to pay for our medical stuff here and that, it's not the greatest.
No.
And we're not listened to. We're definitely not listened to by our doctors and stuff like that. Definitely not.
Oh, good night, Sus.
Yeah. Oh, good night. Oh, bye, Sus. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
And they just have a weird attitude to us as well. They just have a really weird attitude. It's like they can't be bothered, sort of thing. Like, you'll come in and they send you like I had it when I went in, when I had what happened to my neck happened. And I went to the doctors. They sent me home with Premonat saying it was just an infection and that. And then I'm sitting there in like a chemist and I nearly black out backwards because all of this was just raw red from where I was attacked by a demonic spirit.
Yeah.
And it infected me and that. And I was like, I've been given tablets and stuff, but it don't seem to be working. They said it was just like an infection in the skin. And they were like,
Stephen.
they go, so I spoke to my chemist and I went home and obviously my eyes started rolling in the back of my head and I weren't feeling right. So we had to go to the hospital and that. And I nearly got septicemia. I had blood poisoning, nearly got septicemia. And it's things like that they don't take no notice of. And I'm like, lately, there's been a lot of people that have been going to the doctors. They've been complaining about certain things that's wrong with them and that. And then a couple of weeks later, they're ending up dead. And that takes my I'm not very confident with the doctor as it is, but that takes my confidence even more, and it makes my anxiety going through the air when I'm going in there. Because I come back out not feeling any better because I've had this ongoing problem for months and months with my stomach. I've got an ongoing problem going on with my throat where I can't swallow properly, and it gets really painful, and I've got pains going up into my ears, and this sort of thing. I've gone there, they've put like a stethoscope down there or whatever it is that you put down there, and they said they can't see anything.
Hey, Panka.
Yeah.
Oh, I know there's something wrong. Like, like when you know there's something wrong with your body.
Yeah, you
like
they tell.
They found out why I had to have the operation in or anything either. But there's clearly something wrong with me. And my anxiety is through the roof at the minute. And I keep sitting there and I keep thinking, what if I'm just going to, what if I'm just going to drop dead? Like, because they're not taking, I know I'm not. But I try to say that.
Still sitting worrying
because you can't go to the doctors and confide in them, so you're not coming out any better. It's like the doctors back in the day, even though like there were certain qualifications and stuff that they did, they didn't have and stuff like that. They seem to be a lot better with the medical. Yeah. They took things a lot more serious because of what they were doing. Now, these doctors, they're getting younger and younger and younger, and they've just got these.
Look it up on the computer. Anytime you're sitting talking to them, they're on the computer looking it up. You sit and look at them looking it up.
And like you're going about certain things, and they'll go, "Well, what's wrong with you?" I said, "Well, I told you on the phone, and you've got it in the records." That's the only thing I hate about my doctors here, is like you could go in there and they could have years and years and years of writ up stuff on all of our problems now, and they still sit there and ask you these questions that they've got right in front of them. Like,
yep. Some of the best doctors we've had up here has been the ones that's been filling in for other doctors, to be honest. That's true.
That's what I've found. The ones that don't know you and the ones that don't know your history are a lot better. I think the ones that know you and are with you all the time, that they seem to start changing on you. They change.
Yeah, kids as well. I feel sorry for the kids because they will not give them antibiotics no matter what. They used to throw antibiotics. The adults, they'll give antibiotics to adults all day long, but the kids, they won't. Try to get antibiotics for the kids is unbelievable.
Well, it's not good to take antibiotics all the time anyway, because your body gets used to it. Before I get into that, Stephen, thank you for subscribing to my channel. And welcome aboard. And pretty much kind of on Tuesdays, we'll just have chit chats, or we'll have somebody on for like the strange and unknown, or anything like any witchy things that they want to talk about, any spiritual things. We do, all three of us, we have our own paranormal channels. So many things. If you go down the playlist, you'll find all kinds of things that you're pointing.
Witches.
For everybody.
They go by witches. I go by a spiritual being. Pretty much the same thing. It's all in the word. But so welcome, and thank you for subscribing. And everybody else that watches this, I have had some new subscribers lately, so thank you very much. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and I'm just barely halfway. So thank you, Stephen. And also to everybody, make sure that I think everybody in the chat right now has clicked on everybody else's. Stephen, you're welcome to subscribe to all of them. In the description is Sherry's and Drew's.
I'll put your
their links. Okay, the links. So yeah, you're welcome. And share, and subscribe to each other.
So you like to call yourself so what do you call yourself, mystical?
A spiritual being. Sometimes I'll say spiritual being, holy spiritual being, because the way I see it is all things spiritual. It's kind of like everything wrapped into one.
Nice question.
And I kind of say it like that because like where I'm at, it's okay, first of all, I'm in a Bible Belt. Second of all, I've always called myself a spiritual being. My brother that I took care of all the time, he was disabled. He was an ordained minister. Yeah, everything that I believed in, he was against it. So I never crossed paths with him. So I always just said, spiritual being, because it covers so much, all the paranormal stuff, all of the stuff that I do up here, all of the workings that I do.
I'll openly say to people that I'm a witch because I'm proud of being a witch. But if I'm going to people that are not so into that and stuff, I will say online as well, I'm a spiritualist. A spiritualist is somebody with a wide range of beliefs.
Right,
and that is what I am. And I do believe that a witch is that aspect. We have many beliefs. We don't believe in one thing. We believe in many things.
Right.
You know what I mean? We have a different way of following. And to me,
scares a lot of people when you say that word witch, doesn't it?
Because you do herbal stuff.
Yeah.
So to me, you're a witch. That's what witches do. We grow things. Some of us do. Some of us kill plants, guys, by accident. But we will get there.
It's pouring with rain right now. I can see it.
And that's just and that's just the reason why I don't go by that, because everybody gears into that and they don't look at everything else. With all the healing that I've done to help people, with all the prayers I've done to help people, they still hello Fishing, Padstone, Cornwall. Thanks for dropping in. And I'll answer that question here in a minute. But yeah, so for me, saying I'm a spiritual being, I'm just trying to cover the whole round of everything, not just geared to one. When you hear people hear the word witch, that's all that they're geared to, that one word. I want them to know that it's a whole lot more than just that. I am more than just that. Like Drew says, like Drew says, like Drew says,
we all have the same.
Yeah, like Drew says, people just think we're just sitting around making potions and stuff like that. No, we're helping people. We're doing things for people. We're helping animals. We're doing prayers for everybody. We're showing them, like, on my channel, I'm always showing people how to empower themselves. And so that's the reason why I use that term. Now, fishing, Padstone, that witches have cauldrons. The reason that I have a cauldron, I have a different deal up there for burning stuff, like the abalone shell. Now, since we do a lot of workings for ourselves and for people and for prayers, we need something that is fireproof. We don't need to burn our house down. Okay? So,
today.
With the candle, with the incense, everything we burn, this is perfect. You can burn something in here. It has a lid to it if you want to put it out.
It symbolizes the goddess as
It
well.
symbolizes the womb. Technically, what you're trying to do is manifesting it. It's meant to, the reason that they give it a symbolization is, remember, in witchcraft, everything is visual and everything is what you put into it. So all these visualizations and all these little things like your cauldron and everything, that's to empower us. That makes us feel as if that is the goddess's womb. So when we add our herbs and things in it to mix it, to burn it, we're manifesting in the goddess's womb, if you like. That's what the symbolization of it is.
It's a symbolization of birth of something.
Yeah, so I don't want to burn my house down when I'm doing incense and stuff. They bought me one a while back, and it was a big copper one. And the very first thing, when I was burning the bay leaves and stuff, doing a prayer for someone to bring in money for them and stuff, that thing got so hot that I was afraid that the material, I don't know if I can pick this up or not, the material that was under it, I was afraid it was going to catch on fire. All it takes is one time, and then after that, you're like, no, I'm going to give me a cauldron because of what it is made of, and you don't have to worry about it being so hot that you're afraid something's going to catch on fire. That's my reason for having this, because after that one time, it worried me that something would, and it was too hot for me to even pick up. If I ran in to get 2 pot holders or something to pick up, it was like, what am I going to do with it now? Run it to the sink and put it in the, in the sink? But the cauldrons don't do that because it's made of cast iron, so.
Exactly. You different sizes and things. The ones I showed you is just really to burn your little incense and things where if you're wanting smoke. But you get bigger ones and things like that that's for mixing things in if you're like mystical and have a shop and things like that where you would have a bigger cauldron, and that's so that you're doing a bigger working basically. But cauldrons, you can get a cauldron for your garden and things, and it just really depends on what you want to use it for.
Yeah. My main thing is I don't want to burn a house down because I do a lot of resins in here.
You're so very pretty, Fish, and she's very pretty.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, and Drew is too. When you should see Drew too.
I'm under the weather. They're all pretty. You're pretty as well.
Drew gets all dolled up, and it's like, whoa.
I've trying my hardest to remember I'm 50 and I don't wear as much blue and things now. I'm trying to dull it down a little bit.
Why?
I know. I don't know. I just think I'm 50 years
Why
old
can't
now.
you be a sassy, different 50-year-old woman?
Well,
Because that's
it,
what
yeah.
you are. You're sassy. So why should you not wear your bright blue eye makeup?
Yeah,
That makes
I'm a sassy 63-year-old woman.
And you're a sassy 63-year-old. If you want to wear bright pink, bright yellow eye makeup, you put it on. You don't
And I'll be getting. I've got my blue dye in my basket in Amazon, so I'll get that ordered as well and get it out.
I'm
my
going to
Dobby.
dye my hair purple, not like in your face purple, but like a nice purple. I don't know why. Like
That's it, though. The age is a number. It's so.
it's just a number. And
Do
beauty
you
isn't what's
know?
on the outside; it's on the inside. Beauty's
Yeah.
inside.
Yeah, I have never dyed my hair purple or blue or red or none of that. I've never been that brave. Now, I have black hair and my gray hairs come out here and here and
Well,
here.
mine's is grey just now. That's why I need another blue dye.
And then when I start noticing that I'm starting to look like a skunk with a line, I'm like, oh hell no, it's time to do something about
But look at
that.
Lady Gravedancer. Look at Lady Gravedancer's streak. She's got a grey streak that goes like that,
Yeah.
and it just seems to fit. She's had it for years.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine her without her grey streak, to be honest.
Yeah. Guys, I gotta shoot off. Got work
Okay,
tomorrow
Carol.
night. Okay, thank you very much for coming in. So
Night.
and we're just chit chatting about everything. Anybody got any questions or anything, any comments, whatever, just pop it up there and we'll do our best to answer.
Maybe next week we'll find a topic to talk about. Hopefully we'll be a little bit more energetic next week.
Yeah,
We'll
I was
find a
thinking
topic.
if I'm more settled in, I was gonna try to ask Crescent Moon
Yeah.
to come on. But the thing is I have been waiting because since Drew, you're kind of feeling under the weather. I know you have to stay awake that much longer, and as it is, you're not getting enough sleep right now. So I was kind of waiting, to have anybody else come in that the time difference is that much even more.
Yeah.
Because even though they're 1 hour behind me, by the time they get out of work and everything, it goes up several hours, and so it makes it harder on you. So I'm going to wait when you get to feeling better, your headache goes away, where you're catching up on your sleep and everything, then we'll get back to having
We'll definitely get it
come
booked.
on.
I think once the weather really does crack and we're getting better sun and things and I can get out more, I think I'll be a lot better health-wise.
Yeah.
But just because I'm stuck in this house all the time, that's what it is. It's just the trying to get out and
Yeah,
get fresh air and things.
Yeah, and I can get out and start doing my paranormal investigations again. Looks like I'm just going to end up having to start doing them where Leah take me since he's my van security, and me just going out and doing them. Now there's one of the girls that she still wants to go with me, but I don't. She doesn't even live in this town. She lives in another town, so we'd have to drive all the way over there to get her, and that's just too much, I think.
Yeah. Round about here, there's still a few places I've never showed anybody, and there's a few places I want to go back to, so I can get all that done. If the weather if it stops raining, then it would be half the battle, because the cold doesn't bother me really. It just means I'll probably be sniffling.
Yeah, no, I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered about the cold. If I get a cold, I'll get over it. It's just the rain. I don't want to be.
The rain just ruins your equipment. You can't do it.
And where it is cold and where you get the rain as well, it makes it even worse. And because where my back hurts and that, like if it's just one thing to deal with, I'm all right with it. But when it's several things all at once, it's too much.
It is. And I want to do a couple of alone challenges. Michelle's offered to come with me a few of the times to go up Lover's Lane and things, but the next time I go up, I want to go alone. And I want to. There's that clicking again, Mystical.
I can hear it. It sounds like
push your earphones in.
What do you call it?
Push your earphones in. The last time you did that,
when a woodpecker's going at the door. It sounds like a woodpecker.
Yeah, the last time she pushed it in, it sorted itself out.
Now.
That's it, stop, Mystical. I think it's just that loose connection. Yeah, I think once the weather stops and things, I'll start doing. I want to go back to the railway as well and do another alone challenge. The railway starts right there. Look, all these things are right on my doorstep, but it's just the weather.
Is it still
Same
making
with me. I've
noise?
got my
No,
graveyard
that's
up
it.
there.
It's okay.
It's gone now, sis.
That's
As
it.
soon as I got up, it turned off. So I don't know if it's been something to do with the
There
computer.
today, I was up and down to my mum's a couple of times. Well, it was actually Kerry's, and I was going to turn my data on and just and live stream it, and I thought, do you know, it's just that cold. I'll get down and back up. Whereas if it wasn't as cold, I would have just went live and walked with yous.
Pretty.
Welcome in, the old helmet. Welcome in,
Oh
A little
yeah, welcome to old
skeleton
helmet.
hand.
and Miss
That's
Drea.
pretty.
Welcome.
Yeah.
It's a witch bracelet. One of my witch sisters sent me it, and she's been sending me little bits to put on it, and it's getting full.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
Her partner actually makes them,
that's
and
All
like
right.
pretty.
like the Day of the Dead
Miss,
skull as well.
welcome, Miss Drea.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah,
Do you know
that's
something?
gorgeous.
And they made me a witch key ring and sent that out to me the other day for Easter. Those wings that I've just showed you, and she
You
sent
know,
me
I
them
just
out the other
remembered
day.
me.
This,
My
I
mum
done
got me
a
one for
blessing.
Christmas.
I done a blessing prayer thing over my little wings there. One of wings for my
Oh yeah, I see
represents my
them.
granddad, and one represents my auntie. And then I've got a bigger
Oh,
ring that is my granddad, which is this one here. They sent me that. It
lovely.
sent me that the other day, and I blessed that. I blessed them in my cauldron in
Yeah,
their
Oh yeah.
names, so that they're actually protecting me and stuff like that.
it's lovely.
It's really
I
pretty.
remember
And
my
then
mum
she
got me
sent me
one
a
for
That's
my
witch
Christmas.
beautiful.
ring.
I can't remember what I've done with that.
That's beautiful.
Stick them on my
They
statue.
sent me this as well because they absolutely love me and adore me and they sent me my little witch key ring as well that they made.
Oh, how
And it goes
cute.
made and it says made with love.
Oh, how precious.
Yeah, it's
Love
beautiful. And then
that.
she sent me this pendant as well. Absolutely stunning. When I see that I cried because I've always wanted something like this.
Oh,
She sent me
is that a little veil? Bowl?
it's
Oh, that's
actually it's got
nice.
what you do is you open it. You could put the potion in it, I guess, but what it's got in it
Just
is
because I'm on my phone, I can't see. It's good.
it's got a crystal in it.
All right, got it.
But
That's
you could
nice.
put
What
if you had like a tiny little flask thing with a light something in it, you
Yeah.
could put it in there.
what
You know
kind
what I
of
mean?
what kind of crystals in it?
It's got it's tourmaline.
All right, protection.
Tourmaline.
Tourmaline.
I wonder where that bracelet is now.
Are you saying tourmaline?
Yeah, tourmaline.
Okay. I started to say that's the best stone to put in it because when you're out doing your paranormal investigations,
I
it's a
have
very good
lots of tourmaline. I call it
protector.
tourmaline because I'm not very good with the words and stuff. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
yeah,
one that
I
looks like
use a lot
coal.
of that in my paranormal because it keeps away negative energy as well.
The
Yeah.
one that
Really
looks like coal.
And Dolby Socks is mentioned in Shanghai. That's a very, very good one too to keep
Yeah,
spirits
that's a
from
nice
attaching
one.
to you. I have a big chunk like this. Actually, I got several of them on my shop that's for sale. Big, huge chunks of it.
Remember, guys, Mystical's got a Etsy shop.
Well, thank
That's
you.
my key ring, Sister Drew.
All right, that's nice.
A little
Isn't
witchy
it?
one.
Oh, look at that. Cute.
And it's got
Lovely.
made with love on it.
Oh,
I want to get a few of these. I want to get a few of these because they make them and stuff. Because I want to send some of them out to my like witchy sisters so they can have them on their key rings and stuff.
okay.
How sweet. Yeah, that's gorgeous. But
I want to send one up. I want to send one up to Sister Drew, and then I'll send one up over to Sister Mystical as well.
oh, thank you.
That one.
That would cost a lot for you to send it here, though.
Not from here. It doesn't. Not really.
Oh, really? You're sending stuff from here out. It's a lot. It's like
It really
somebody
depends on the
wanted to
weight,
buy.
and that is really light.
Somebody
From
wanted
the
to
weight
buy. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
That's really light. Like over here, it goes
Oh.
by weight. The more heavier it is, the more expensive it gets. That's hardly got
Yeah.
any weight to it. So it probably costs me about 10, maybe 15 to send it to you. That ain't much.
God.
Oh.
Not
Somebody
even that,
wanted.
probably.
somebody wanted to buy one of the witches that Lee makes, and the person lived in England. I won't say her name, in case she don't want it out there or anything. It was gonna be $80 just for the shipping, not for the witch sculpture. Just the shipping was $80. I said, I know you don't. Yeah, she said, well, how much is gonna be? And so I checked. I was like, oh my goodness. She said, yeah, I'll wait. She goes, it's getting crazy with a lot of things right now. That's going, and then they're getting more strict on what you're.
The prices, don't get me wrong, the prices are going up everywhere, but it's not that higher over here to send things out. It really does depend on the size of your parcel. Like a couple of months ago, I sent out a reasonably sized parcel, and it only cost me 40 quid to send it. So
I find that with a lot of stuff in America. America used to, a lot of their stuff used to be cheaper than Britain, but I find a lot of people are saying now about a lot of stuff that your prices are getting just as bad as ours. Then your fuel and everything as well is getting as expensive as ours.
Yeah, when I went to the post office the other day, he said that it's because he knows every now and then I will ship something, international. And he said they're getting a whole lot more stricter now on things being shipped out. So apparently there's been an issue going on lately that they're starting to get more strict on what's going out. Drew, look up Kitchen Witch. She goes around market stalls up your way, makes her own soaps, etc.
Yeah. If I had the energy, I'd start doing something like that myself to make extra money. I just have no any motivation right now.
Well, but I do my own soaps too, and I gear a lot of them spiritual. And what I have in my Etsy shop will be the last of it, and I won't more for them because the ingredients for the soaps has gone up so much in price that I don't want to jack the price up. I want to leave them where they're at. So instead of buying more ingredients to make more, I'm just keeping in there what I have right now to keep the price low, and then once they sell out, they sell out. But I was, I make my own soaps and stuff like that. But, the lavender and the money soap and all kinds of stuff. But, yeah, I actually put a comment on there and said limited amount, when they're gone, they're gone.
Yeah, they're gone. Then maybe try again. The thing is, people start doing hobbies and things like that, and they find a cheap way to do things and make things. And then these big companies come in and start saying like three for £10 or something, and then they try and beat that deal, and then everything goes to bulk, so it raises all the prices for the places like Amazon and different things. That's why a little bottle of resin is now £25, and that's only like one bottle.
Yeah, and people like us that make it, you can pretty much trust what we're making as far as the natural ingredients. When you get into these big companies, you don't know what they're doing. I don't trust the big, big companies. They might say all natural and they not be, because they'll put chemicals. The big companies, they put the chemicals and stuff in them to make them last longer. And we don't do that because we want them natural. We make them, we sell them. We're just making small quantities at a time. We're not making thousands and thousands and sending them out everywhere. And so they put stuff in them to preserve them for longer. But when you're putting a lot of those preservatives in them, they're chemicals that's going into it.
That's it, though. But you find somebody you trust. I usually get everything off of Freya's Cauldron or that other girl, Moon. What's her name? Moon Fairy or whatever her name is. I usually get they two, because if Mystical stayed in Britain, I would get all my stuff off of her. But because I trust Freya and I trust that other girl, I don't know her right name, but that's the only two I get off of. But I would like to get somebody close here that I can just jump on a bus and go have a look in their shop or something. Right. All the mystical shops are
the mystical shops and that are okay though, aren't they, sis? If you think about it.
I'd love to open up a wee shop about here.
Like,
I asked a couple of weeks ago on the marketplace, the List Mahegi group. I says they were advertising new shops that's open down the street, and I had put a comment up saying, "Can I open up a witchcraft shop?" And somebody commented and said, "I think you know the answer to that, Andrina."
Well, you
I
don't
was
call
like,
it a
"Oh,
witchcraft shop. You call it a spiritual shop.
yeah, well, I should go back." I says, "I'll do
Metaphysical
tarot."
shop. Call it a metaphysical shop.
Always got a nice coffee, something. What did I smell?
but the thing is
Sandalwood?
like, for some of us, like, we don't grow our stuff. So, like, for us, we do. Like, I won't go to a supermarket and buy herbs or buy anything to put
Yeah.
into my stuff. I always go to witches. I go to people that grow it and they get it themselves. You know what I mean? Like, because with the workings that we do, it has to be natural because of what we're doing and working with natural elements and all that we
Hmm.
believe in. It has to be natural. And when you're putting chemicals and stuff into your workings, it's not doing the right thing, in my opinion. You know what I
The
mean? So,
natural are the better. And
and we was
anything you
talking
can
earlier, me and
recycle.
Debs, she was saying to me about a conversation that she'd had with someone, and they were going on about because she wasn't feeling very well and stuff, and said, "Yeah, I haven't been feeling well as well." And she was saying about the
Yeah.
water and stuff like that. I said, "Yeah, look, there is stuff in the water that stops your abilities to be able to see things or feel things." You know,
They
that's why
definitely try to
I
block
will
it.
boil my water about 4 or 5 times before I even put it into my body. I won't even buy bottled water and drink that physically from the bottle because it still
You
comes
just
from a
don't
shop
know.
and you still
Exactly.
don't know what they put in it, do you? You don't know what they put in it, so I won't. And if
Yeah,
I have to, I will
I
boil it
think
about
that.
4 or 5 times.
Yep.
Hmm.
You
And
know
you
what I mean?
just can't trust anything that's put out. Even you, I was saying this list last week, I think it was either my show or Mystical show. Even your fruit and things that you get these days, you feel as if there's like a waxy coating on them,
There is.
especially the
There is.
apples.
There
Uh-huh.
is.
It's to make them last
Yep.
longer, isn't it?
There's
Yep.
apple
Well,
trees and pear
two
trees
things.
and stuff around here. I go round there. I go up to the
Yeah.
apple trees and the pear trees when they're growing. And I just take them naturally off the tree. I don't even go to the supermarket for them anymore.
Yeah,
Crazy.
because two things that the fruits have. One, that waxy kind of stuff, whatever it is, to make it look pretty. And two, they spray it with the chemical stuff so that it doesn't go rancid real fast. And if
Mm-hmm.
you're wanting to replant anything, the spray that they put on it causes it to not be able to be replanted. Therefore, they don't have to worry about it sprouting while it's on the shelves.
Well, that's it, isn't it? And Dobie, you're right. Liam was saying that yesterday.
Yep.
They're all clued up in what's going on because of social media. They're never off it.
Yeah, no, it is, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Even your fruit is supposed to be fresh. Your fruit's meant to be something that's freshly picked and given, and it's not fresh. It's not. It's got stuff on it.
No, it's
That's
definitely
Yeah.
not
why
one.
I used to
Uh-huh.
like when I go. I've had fruit from the supermarket, but when I had
Yeah,
fruit from the supermarket from the stuff I used to eat from my auntie's garden, natural grown food is so much better.
yeah,
It's so much
definitely
Yeah.
better.
better.
That's the reason I'm doing my garden this year. Well,
Yeah.
trying
Yeah.
to anyway. Trying to. So
Oh,
I'm.
you're doing good. Your pumpkins are doing amazing. I was telling
Oh,
Sherry earlier that you're going to have killer
Yeah.
pumpkin.
yeah. Lee's pumpkins, the first ones that's coming out, they're already starting to grow their second leaves. And then the other ones, the giant ones that wasn't doing anything, they're starting to sprout now. Little did
Yeah.
I know they were going to sprout so fast. Next year I'm gonna wait another whole month before I do it. We didn't have no clue that they were gonna sprout that fast, and I'm stuck with them in the house because it's too cold to have them out. I have them outside right now because it's 70 degrees right now, but I'll have to bring them in, later because they can't stay out at night because it's still freezing temperatures, you
Yeah.
know. But yeah, I mean, oh my God, they're like all just like,
I know every day they're like another little bit, and I'm like, wow. You've got to look out your kitchen window, and they'll be everywhere,
yeah.
like boom, boom,
Those
boom.
those first ones, they're already like this.
Yeah. Oh
I'm
wow.
like, oh my God. And so this next, you know how I ended up having to replant them in those containers and I put 4 to a
Yeah.
container? Well, the next ones are going to have, because I don't have room for them, but I'm going to have to put them in a tub, but I don't want to make holes in the tub. So
Right.
I'm going to set the planters inside the tub because they'll have holes
Yeah.
in them, and then just plant, however many I can get into like 3 different
That's
containers
a better idea.
to sit in the tub so that me and Lee can just carry the tub in and out, in it later night, out in the morning when it's warm. I told him, I said, they're going to grow pumpkins before it's ever 50 degrees so we can plant them outside overnight because it's got to be at least 50 degrees at nighttime to plant them
If there's
outside.
big ones that we can't enter a competition.
I'm going to have a big old pumpkin back here for And then, see, I don't have like no grow lights, no heat lights or nothing. So once I bring them in, there's nothing else that can be made on the stove because I have
Right.
the 2 headlamps on the stove and I got them all on top of the burners on the stove so they can get what light they can get from them 2 bulbs that's up on the stove. And they're doing that. And they're doing that good with those 2 little bulbs.
Oh. They'll be lovely when they're finished and they're all grown.
But he's got almost an acre in the back. He's just going to plant them there. And I told him, I said, are you going to till it up or what? He goes, no, I'm just going to make, a spot for them. And I said, well, a week before you're going to plant them, I said, you need to make those spots. And then I'm going to go back with wood ash and sprinkle
Right.
the wood ash and then get them watered down so that will nourish. It's just like in a forest, when a forest
Right.
burns down and then everything grows back real good. Well, that's what I'm going to use the wood ash so that way, I can water it down because when you put the wood ash dry, you can't put it on the plants itself. You have to prepare the soil first. That's what I've learned, okay? So that's what I want to do with that. And then I've learned how to make wood ash liquid fertilizer for the actual plants that you can spray on them. Weed fertilizer, not weed this weed, but the growing weed.
Yeah.
Fertilizer. Yeah. And I've learned how to make the fish fertilizer and all of this using the leaf mode. And then there's another fertilizer. What is it? I can't remember exactly. I think it's the first grass clippings that you do. Once you mow the grass, after that it doesn't really count. You can use the other grass for the compost, but the very first, because it's virgin grass that's been all winter, it's packed with the nutrients and vitamins and stuff. And I've learned I've learned how to do the fertilizer with that. I've learned how to do the fertilizer using whole milk. And also as a disinfectant to clean your tools. So if you're going from plant to plant, if you think one of them might have some kind of fungus or something, you can disinfect it with the milk. I've learned how to do that.
Right.
And and there's like a whole bunch of different separate things, and I'm keeping a book and I'm just writing them all down. Now his pumpkin plants, the first ones that bloomed up real, that's growing real good, I had put wood ash in those.
Right.
When I first did it and they started growing good, and I was like, holy shit, I didn't know they were gonna grow that.
Baby bio.
These pumpkins. Yeah. But when I get ready to make this stuff, I'm gonna video it so that everybody else can learn how to make it.
Sounds like you've got a lot of good ideas and stuff as well.
Yeah, because I don't want to use Now, I did buy some store-bought fertilizer at the very beginning in case I needed it. But the more I started researching and watching videos and learning how to do this, I'll probably never use that other stuff. Because with the other stuff, you're taking a chance of burning, your plants and stuff. With this other stuff, you can't burn it because it's all natural that comes from the earth. So it's not going to burn your plants. It's going to make them flourish. It's going to it's going to make the soil to where I can use the soil year after year. just add a little more compost to it and stuff like that. But since my compost won't be ready when I get ready to plant, I'm going to make this other stuff and use it on a weekly basis, and that way I get a jump start on everything.
Next year, your garden will get the full effect. Then it's
Yeah,
really next year, isn't it?
yeah, exactly. So, I mean, does anybody else have any questions? Anything
Any questions?
paranormal,
Guys?
spiritual, magical, anything out there? Um, we'll give them a
I'll
minute to
definitely
see.
have a look her up, Kitchen Witch.
Don't forget to hit the like button, everybody. Don't forget to hit the like button. But so I guess if nobody else has any questions, we can go ahead and end it here. We're going on an hour and almost 20 minutes.
Guys, I don't know if Chris will be live tomorrow night to do the Ghost Squad show that Lottie's come over for. I don't think he's 100% yet. I think he's still got a bit of a sore throat, I do believe. But we'll definitely keep you up posted on my community wall tomorrow if I'm live with Christopher tomorrow night, okay?
Did he want to change it to Friday? Was he going to change it to Fridays?
I think he was going to change it to Friday, yeah, so I really don't know what's happening with it, but I'll keep you updated on the community wall.
Okay, Sherry,
Yeah,
do you
just
have
be-
anything coming up?
Well, I was just gonna do like a talk show and stuff, and just like talk like paranormal stuff and spiritual stuff and things like that. I was gonna do that at the end of the week, but if Sister Drew's going
Definitely.
live Friday, then I might jump in and do it either tomorrow or Thursday.
Yeah, definitely. Give us a shout, whatever day.
Have some
Okay.
guys
We'll
come up. I
do
was
it.
gonna do an open panel and just get people to come up and talk and.
Oh, good.
Do it Thursday if you want then. There's nothing, I will be live on Thursday anyway because I'm not, I really don't feel, I want to
I
wait
don't
till my
feel up to
channel
it,
is
but I need to
fully,
push myself. I don't feel up to it like paranormal wise or anything like that at the minute.
yeah,
But
just a chit chat.
I'm not really
Definitely.
using my channel very much. Everybody else is using it, and I just want to at least get something out there every now and again.
See,
So
that's the thing. Everybody's a bit unmotivated right now, and I think it is because the sun and everything's no out. Everybody's just a bit. It's been a long winter. I think that's
that has
just the
been a
way
long
it was.
winter, but I think a lot of mine's all the other stuff as well, and
Yeah,
still got
you're
stuff
yeah, you're
waiting to happen.
mourning. You're
So for
still
me, I've just
grieving.
been feeling really depressed and just really
Yeah,
down and not wanting to do anything. But
I
hopefully
think
that's
there's a
going to budge.
sadness. There's a really sadness. I think across a lot of the streams and things as well. I've noticed, not just in the paranormal, a lot
There's
of
a
other
lot of people,
communities.
isn't there? There's a lot of people that have got sick or people that have died or and things like that.
Yeah.
It just seems to be a lot of that at the minute.
So that's what aim for this year, guys. We'll try and do something different. Try and smile the days that you don't feel like smiling and things. Just try and make a little bit more of an effort because it is hard. So we can all be there for each other and push each other and
I
do
was
it.
going to do like a musical show, but I weren't going to do like my normal spiritual. I was going to come on and just like do bits like sing like Evanescence and bits of Linkin Park songs and stuff like just something more upbeat. And
So that's it.
I was going to
Something
just get
for
dressed
fun.
up in my witch dress and scroll it up a little bit so I look a little bit haunted looking to just go Evanescence, here it comes. Obviously, I'm not like Evanescence, believe me, I do not have her voice, but I do try.
Yeah. Anything for a bit of fun and to help put
So
a smile on people's
a lot of my streams were that, like paranormal, and I used to do a lot of spiritual singing and dance. People used
Yeah.
to love it. I loved being there playing my drums. I need to get back into all that. I think I miss all of that, and that really did
Yeah, I
make
miss
me
it as
feel really
well.
good.
But definitely
Made me
need to
feel
try
good.
and get back to all that where we're going at least once a week just doing something that's, I don't know, different for normal
Everybody would come
paranormal
running to
thing.
my stream when I would put up spiritual music and dance a lot because I'd always be dressed up in my long witch dresses and I'd be standing there with my drum and my headscarves and
And then you hurt your wrist because you played the drum for
oh
3
my god!
hours.
Yes, I was doing them like doing my motion thing because I don't use the stick. I use my hands because I do a really good rhythm with my hands because I'm really good at getting
Yeah.
the beat in. And I banged it that much. I could not move my hand for like 2 days. Like,
Yep.
Wow.
like,
Wow.
yeah. When I
That's
get
just
into it, I
what.
get into it. Seriously, I do get into it really bad. It was a tambourine, sis, wasn't it?
It's a
The
tambourine, that's what it was. It was a
I was
tambourine.
getting faster and louder. I was like, ah.
For hours. I think you were live for about 3 hours that night. But it's good because it does relax you, and everybody in the chat loves it as well, and it keeps the
Because a few
community
people had
going.
come in feeling depressed and that, didn't they? I think that's what it was. That some people had come in feeling depressed. So I was like, I'm going live. Witchy musical show, and everybody was in there. Little dancing feet coming up and dancing people coming across the screen.
That's what we should do. We should make
I
a
love it.
Saturday night or something and just have like a night of music and laughter and who knows.
I'll do the laughter, no music for me because
Yeah.
I can't sing. I didn't even
It
sing to my
doesn't matter if you
children when they
can't
were
sing.
little.
I'm not the world's best singer. Even though people say to me, "You've got a beautiful voice, sis." Like I've got an alright voice, but I'm not the best singer. But it's not about having the best voice. It's about
Yeah, you don't need to be
people
the
that enjoy
best.
you.
That's it. It's just to
You
take
know what I mean?
part and have fun.
I'll be doing my exercises and stuff on my voice and that though, because I have noticed. I tried to sing a few songs today, and I've got a certain pitch, and then I've got this. Starting getting low, and I need to sort my voice out.
It's the smoking. I'm the same.
I think it's the smoking as well.
Rose
The
garden and total
smoking really does affect your voice. It does affect your voice when you smoke.
Yeah, it does for
Yeah.
sure. Yep.
Alrighty, well, I guess we will end it here. Thank you, Sherry, for coming in. Thank
What's
you,
that
my
noise?
co-host, Drew.
Very well.
No problem.
I know it sounds like somebody's phone. It's not mine. And
Yeah, I heard it.
It's mine. I just realised I forgot I've got my new phone because I haven't had the phone for so long. I forgot, and I'm like, "What is that noise?" It's me. My phone's going. Right.
Okay, so we're gonna let everybody go. Thank you, everybody, for coming in, spending some time with us, and we appreciate everybody. Thank you to all our new subscribers, and share to everybody, subscribe to everybody, and thank you again, everybody. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.